So welcome everyone. I have taken over the Denmark's page for today. So that's how we end the year off. They allow someone else to take over their platform, but it's for the good. First and foremost, before we get into the meat of things, because I've been getting a lot of buzz about this. More importantly, Ashley, you and Antonio drop your ad spend for the year. So a lot of people have been asking me about that, and we're gonna save that to the end.
Okay.
But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for everything that you do. I wanted to end the year off with somebody that I had a personal relationship with through this program, and someone I know who has a heart of giving, and and in 2024 it's gonna take off like a rocket. These are the conversations we've had for years and years to come, and I'm happy to see all the things that y'all are doing. So as we always do, we find ways to bring value to through for the people. We've done it on all of your platforms, so it was only right that we brought the Grow with Google program to REI Live, REI Decoded, the Sexy Flipping Contest, and everybody that the Denmark, touch and help and work with on a consistent basis. So
G.
before we get started, for those that are tuning in the virtual world, make sure that you share this with someone. What I'm about to share with you is the same framework that Google created for marketers. Not me, not the Denmarks, but Google. So I think you want to be on. This is information that when I started my marketing career, I used to sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm giving it to you for free. So if you have a business, or you about to start a business, or you looking to pivot or do something different, this framework works no matter what you do in business, because it's not about the business, it's about how people buy. So I'm gonna give you a minute to hit that share button. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, take that link, drop it in your text, drop it in the DMs. We want this to be a packed out show because we don't get this information every single day. So let's give them a minute. And then
while they waiting, I'm gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something real quick. I just want to thank you, G. A lot of the stuff that we do, a lot of the way that we think is because of you.
Absolutely.
And the time that you took out to bless us. And it's crazy. We wasn't really looking for it, but you did it anyway. So I will say that because of your heart, you have, I ain't even gonna say exploded, but put us on a path to success that we never even dreamed of.
Absolutely.
It was never even on our minds to be on this path that we on. So I want to thank you for opening our minds and giving us a blueprint.
I appreciate y'all saying that. And all we did was take what you guys are already doing it and help you communicate it better to the people. And now you guys are taking off, man. I can't wait to see what 2024 looks like for the Denmarks. I just want to be a fly on the wall when you go nationwide.
Let's go.
No, you're gonna be with us, my brother.
Right.
You this ain't gonna be the first time my audience see you.
That's right.
Oh yeah. I appreciate y'all. So without further ado, April, so let me just I'm gonna be presenting, so I probably won't see the chat, but April is in the chat. So if you have questions, if you have any concerns, comments, or anything, make sure you tag April. She's gonna be the one that's gonna be getting back to me on anything that any questions or any concerns that you have. Now, I hope that you got your pen and paper ready, because I'm gonna throw a lot at you in a short amount of time, and then we're gonna make sure that we hear from the Denmarks towards the end, and then we're gonna give you the floor to ask questions, as it relates to what you see, or any questions that you may have as it relates to any Google products or marketing as a whole. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good to me.
All right, perfect. So let me make sure that I can. Okay. So did my screen switch?
Yes, sir.
All right, right. So we good. So again, welcome to the workshop. This workshop is called Launch Your Business with Customer Focused Marketing. and it's brought to you by myself and the Grow with Google initiative. So again, this is an initiative that I'm extremely proud of. When I first started my marketing career, I worked for the largest um, private marketing company in the nation. And at that time, they were Google partners and they were Google Premier partners. It took everything that you had. I mean, it took forever for you to even become a Google partner, Premier partner rather. And it was only a handful of companies in the world that were Google Premier partners. So I'm happy to be sharing this information with you because this is the same exact information that I use to be able to close deals on a consistent basis back in the day when I had a direct relationship with Google. And now I have a direct relationship with Google, which allows me to bring you free information and free digital tools to grow your business online. So I'm happy to say that this year we've served over 2,000 people in Alabama for free. We want to take that number up a notch, next year. So again, this is a free initiative with Google in partnership with me. I am Alabama's only Grow with Google coach. I serve the whole state, and we want to bring you resources and digital tools to help you grow your business or your career if you want to take that path. So let's jump right in. All right. So for those that don't know me, again, my name is Gilberto Herrera. I have a consulting firm here in Alabama. I also dabble in real estate as well. But for the most part, my goal is to serve you. I'm here to bring information and inspiration to everyone that wants to be in business. So at any point, if you get any value out of this, screenshot it, tag me on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle, and we'll repost it. Also tag that handle that you see at the bottom called the Digital Coaches Program. That's Google, so they can see that we're doing the Lord's work out here. So let's jump right in. Here's the agenda. In this workshop, I'm going to show you why marketing is important. I'm going to introduce to you the marketing funnel, which is essentially a journey that people take to make buying decisions. I'm going to show you how to reach the right people at the right time with the right message. Then once you reach them, you got to know what to say to keep their attention because they're considering you, but they're also considering others, right? Then I'm going to show you how to pave the way for a close, meaning I'm going to show you what it takes to close a deal. And then after that, it doesn't stop there. Once someone buys, they either tell someone about the experience, whether good or bad. I'm going to show you how to turn those people that buy from you into loyalists and encourage them to tell others about it. Then towards the end, we'll give you a recap, and then I'm going to share some free resources that you could take along your journey. How does that sound? All right.
Sounds good to me. Let's roll.
So if you're ready, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, drop a 1 in the chat.
Let's go.
Ones and them checks.
Let's get it. So let's start by talking about the marketing funnel and the customer journey, right? There's a marketer by the name of Seth Godin, and he said, great marketers don't make stuff, they make meaning. What does this mean to you, right? Well, a lot of us come into business and we just want to sell, right? Well, think about it like this. The person that's in front of you that you want to communicate to, they're not looking to buy. They don't care about you or your product. They care about what it means to them. So your goal as a marketer, as a business owner, is to translate what you do into what meaning is to them. They're looking for that happily ever after. They're looking for that transformation. They're looking to see what their life is going to be like after you work with them. So again, your goal as a marketer is to make your products and your overall brand meaningful to customers. So let me give you a real life example. And these are some entrepreneurs that look just like me and you for the most part, right? So their names are Shalone Thomas and Sherika Winter, and they're the founders of a company called T&W Tote. So Shalone was a professional, right? And he wanted to buy a lunch bag that represents who he was, a stylish lunch bag, right? He tried everything he could, paper bags, plastic bags, and even, those Velcro, lunch bags that we all have. but none of those reflected his style. And he started searching for professional lunch bags, couldn't find one. So what did he do? He decided to take matters into his own hands and create a company called T&W Tote. So as you can see, the image on the screen, this is a husband and wife duo holding one of their tote bags. And as you can see, it's a pretty fly bag, right? So that's what most of us do as business owners, right? We're passionate about what we do. We have these great ideas. We know we got a product that people need, but a lot of us have minimal marketing knowledge. So just like you and I, Shalone and Sherika started out with passion and had a great idea. They had design skills, they engineered it, and they created a product that could be bought and people want it, right? But they just didn't know how to take it to market and how to make sure that when they communicated with their audience received it well, right? So many of the decisions, just like ours, was based on gut instinct. And that was a great start. They identified and created a great product, as I said earlier, right? That met a real life need. As a matter of fact, I had one of these bags, and it's a pretty fly bag, and they even sent it to me with my initials on it. So they take it a step further these days. But Shalone and Sherika, did not know how to make their products stand out in front of you. So soon they realized they needed a great marketing strategy. So they needed to establish a brand that would reach more customers. That's number one. They needed to sell more products, but more importantly, they needed to build loyalty, because there's only 3 ways to grow a business. You got to get them to buy more, and get them to buy more often. If you don't have loyal people around you, if you're not creating, advocacy and loyalty, it's not going to happen. So as you can see right here on the screen, these are the entrepreneurs that I've been talking about, engineering some of their products and going over samples, which a lot of us do, right? So what is marketing? At its core, it's just an ongoing effort to create meaning for your customers. Notice I didn't say it's an ongoing effort to sell. What you're doing is building a relationship to get customers from where they are to where they want to get to. And you're the bridge between the pain that they're feeling and the progress that they're looking for. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So marketing answers questions like, why should people buy from you, right? What's in it for them? People only listen to one radio station, WIFFM. What's in it for me? I may have said that wrong, but you get the point. So they only care about what's in it for them. They don't care about your product or service. They don't even care about you. People are selfish. They want to know what's in it for them. So what makes your product, services, and your company great? Why should they even listen to you? They want to know your backstory. So as a marketer, you need to be good at telling stories. Storytelling helps impart meaning to your products and your brand. So it helps connect you and your customers on an emotional level. Because remember, people buy on an emotional level first. Then they justify that emotional decision with logic. It's no different than dating. You got to get people on an emotional level first. And then they start saying, well, he is handsome. He does have a good job. But initially, that didn't grab you if you just meet somebody out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of us meet people at a bar and ask for them to marry us right away, when that's the wrong way to go about it in business. You don't just show up to someone that doesn't know anything about you or what's in it for them and ask them to buy from you. Your goal is to make them raise their hand and make that selling their idea. It's just like when Tonio asked Ashley to marry him. Ashley was probably dropping hints back in the day. Hey, man, we've been doing this a minute. What's up?
That's right.
I'm ready. Tonio wasn't going to propose unless he knew Ashley was going to say yes.
Facts.
You should be treating your business the same way. You should only ask for the sale when you know someone has already bought in. And by the time they get to you, they should already be bought in. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So if you don't screenshot nothing else today, here's what you need to focus on. So there's a funnel that we all go through when we buy something, a journey, in other words, right? We gotta see you enough. Then once we see you, we start doing research on you to consider you. Once we got all the answers, then we buy from you, right? And then that buying process has to be so easy and so, and not cumbersome to make it easy for me to make that decision. And then after that, once I buy from you, it doesn't stop there. You have to keep reaffirming that I made the right decision. And then I'm going to tell others about my decision. So awareness. This is all you need to know to become a great marketer. How do you reach more customers? How do you help them find the answers that they're looking for? How do you turn those leads into customers? And then ask yourself, how often do they return, or do they return at all? Does that make sense? This is now, you might see other funnels that have more steps, but they all build on this right here. This is marketing 101 right here. This is the journey that you, I, and everyone on this call takes when we want to buy something. Think about the last time you bought something or you needed something, and you needed, you weren't loyal to a brand at the moment. What did you do? You probably might have seen some ads or something, and that company resonated with you, but you still went and did that research. And then once you got all the answers, then you said, all right, bet I'm gonna buy from you. And it wasn't until you got that product or service in your hand that you said, all right, well, let me tell others about this, because I made the right decision, and you should too. All right. So let's talk about the first phase and how to reach prospects and build awareness for your brand. So the customer journey may begin when someone needs something, right? They might turn to a Google search. As you can see right here, they might ask around. They might see something. They might look for advertising. They might go to a trade show. Like, I'm a sneakerhead. I go to a lot of trade shows to buy sneakers that I don't need. But you didn't hear that from me. And hopefully my daughters are not paying attention to this, because they tell me I don't need to buy anymore. But awareness could also be triggered through, a multitude of things. It could be triggered by a search online. So, but the thing is, no matter how your customers find you, they'll likely continue their research by searching for your business online. So how many of us know for a fact, if you're a restaurant and I look for a restaurant near me and I'm within 5 miles from you, you're going to show up? Or whatever it is that you do. Are your customers able to find you online? And I'm not just talking about social media. I'm talking about when they go to your Googles of the world and your other search engines that are not Google. Have you set yourself up to be found? All right. So to reach your prospective customers, you need to understand who they are so you know how to reach them. That's very key. Nothing happens until you know exactly who you're going to talk to. And I'm going to show you in just a second how to come up with your customer avatar. So you need to start by identifying who needs your product. And I'm going to take it further. Not only do you need to identify who needs it, you need to identify who can buy from you, especially if you have a product that's not cheap. It's not just about who needs it. It's about who can afford it, and who won't have sticker shock when they see it. Who will see the value in this? All right. Then you need to build a brand that speaks to their interest. So once you've defined your ideal market and built a solid brand, and then you get your business online. So let's talk about these concepts in a little more detail. So when it comes to identifying your customer, it's good to think about whose problems you want to solve. Remember, I didn't say who you need to sell to. I said whose problems you need to solve, because people are coming to you because they have a problem or they want something, and they're looking at how you solve that problem with what you have to offer. So who will want your products and want that brand experience that you got to offer? So you need to understand exactly who your prospects are, and you need to be that guide along the way. So your brand and products may be may be useful to just about anybody. So I want to be clear. You can reach a multitude of people, right? But if you don't focus on your most likely customers, you will spread your message too thin. And once you try to sell to everyone, you usually don't appeal to the right person. So focus on that one person that you need to be talking to. Again, so let's talk about Louis Vuitton, right? A lot of us buy Louis Vuitton, but you know who the ideal market is? Women that like to travel in luxury. That's who they speak to for the most part. Now, that's not saying that other people don't buy, but their marketing appeals to that woman. Does that make sense? So this is what you call market segmentation, and that's where that comes into play. It helps you narrow in who you need to be talking to. So you can start with the things that you see on the screen, demographic segmentation, which include things like age, gender, ethnicity, religion, income, education level, right? But you also want to know that about their interests, what they value, their personality, their lifestyle. This is what you call psychographics. Then you want to know where they are. You want to know the location-based information, like what size and the density of the region or neighborhood that they live in. What language they speak, or even what climate they're in. And these are your geographics. And lastly, you want to know their behavior. This involves understanding, the frequency of your customers' purchases, their usage of your products, and the level of loyalty. So again, I'm gonna throw a lot at you, but I'm gonna pause for a second. If this is valuable to you, again, drop some emojis in the chat. Also don't forget to share this with someone that needs to be seeing this right now. There's a lot of business owners that need this information that probably won't get it nowhere else. And we're breaking it down in bite-sized chunks, and it's easy for you to understand. So make sure that you take a moment and you drop this in someone's inbox. You text this to someone, or you tag them in a post to make sure that they're watching this live stream.
G, I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second, G.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe you giving them this game like this. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, this right here is what changed our business. This formula, this model, and I didn't know you were gonna give it to him like that, G.
Man, I told you we was coming with the fire, man. And again, this is not the personal presentations that I do. This is straight from Google. So, again, we're gonna talk about branding in just a couple seconds. But Google is in the market to store the world's data in one place, and I think they've achieved that. So I'm thankful for them to be able to to allow me to even share this information with the general public.
Gee, he literally taking notes.
So and then think about that. Think about that. So you got someone like yourselves who are constantly learning. Learning never stops. And even though you might have seen this already, you might grab one or two things. It's just like reading a book, right? April has seen this presentation. April Dixon, who's in the chat, she's seen this presentation over and over. But every time we see it, she sees that she grabs something different. And as you can see, she's been applying it. And her brand, her business is growing.
It is. So I'm gonna give you one note I just got, even though I've heard it probably 5 times. One thing that you just triggered to me was the demographics with our people. What we've learned by constantly talking to them and filling them out is a lot of our people have a religion background, and a lot of our people are married. Mm-hmm. So doing more marketing and advertising towards those people will tighten down our avatar, just like you said, to where they're more likely to buy.
Absolutely. And we know who control the purse strings in a married household. So you got to speak to her in a way where she can bypass the boss, right?
Yes, right.
All right. So hopefully you've taken the time to share this with someone real quick. So let's jump right in. All right. So I gave you how to create your customer persona. Now let me give you an example of a defined customer persona, right? So your customer persona represents a group of similar people in a desirable audience. These are, fictional users whose goals and characteristics represents the needs of a larger group of users. So customer personas, can help you focus on creating marketing materials for the people who are most likely to buy your products or services. Notice I said for the people who are most likely to buy your products or services, not for you. A lot of us, when we get in business, because humans are selfish by nature, right? It's hard for us to see things past what we like, and it happens a lot when we build brands in my agency. Um, you know, a lot of people come in and they think it's just going to be about what they want, and I'm like, all right, but is that going to appeal to who you want to serve? And it takes, a change in the mindset for them to stop thinking internally and think about who they want to serve. And once it clicks, they apply to everything else, and then they just take off. So, consider the customer persona right here that I got in front of you. Metro Michaela, right? She's in her mid-30s. She's a female, she's single, and she lives alone in a large city. She's college educated and has a mid-level management job in the fashion industry. Michaela likes to have friends over to cook and drink wine. She dreams of traveling, but spends most of her time in the city, shopping at local boutiques and farmers markets. So how would you market to a product to Metro Michaela? So think about how would you influence Michaela along the customer journey. So first and foremost, you got to think about things like, what channels would you use to reach her? What type of imagery, words, or tone of voice would you appeal to her? What type of products, attribute and attributes would be important to her. So, and then you notice we have a picture of someone that reflects Metro Michaela. So you need to be doing the same thing for your business, even if you don't have a specific person in your market. And most of us do. Most of us have a customer that we've dealt with that was just like the best customer. Think of that person in your business that you said, man, if I had more of these type of customers, man, life would be easy. Or man, it would make business, pleasurable, more pleasurable, whatever. Print out a picture of that person, slap it on the wall, and when you start marketing, look at that person and ask yourself, what did I do to attract this person, and how do I keep attracting more people like that person, or people? If you're dealing with a married couple, and that helps you fine tune your marketing, and it increases your conversions. So once you identify who you speak to, right, and who your customers are, it's time to create a brand that appeals to them. So branding is more than just choosing a logo that you like. And again, it's not about a logo that you like either. It's about what's going to appeal to your customers. So a good brand identity connects emotionally to your prospective customers. Again, emotionally. When you come to me and you say, hey, I want a brand identity, and the first thing you talk about is your logo, and your logo is like a tattoo and it has 30 elements, you're gonna be mad at me because we start from square one. And the first thing we start out is that emotional piece. A good brand, your logo design, and brand colors will convey certain feelings and even inspire certain actions. So let me ask you a question, Ashley and Antonio. What colors does McDonald's use?
Red and yellow.
All right. What about Burger King?
Red, blue, and yellow and white.
All right. What about Sonic?
Red and yellow. A little
All
blue.
right. What about let's say Slutty Vegan, who is a minority fast food joint?
Red and yellow.
All of them are in the same industry, yet they use the same colors, right? You think that's by choice? You think that's by accident? No,
Nope.
Not at all. Those two colors together invoke a certain type of action in you, and it make you feel like, you're going to a fast food restaurant and you want action quickly. Those two colors together symbolize that. Notice how when you drive down the street, especially, in our communities, most of the tire shops are yellow and blue. That's by design. They want you to spot their used tire spot immediately. Same font, same concept. It's like a royal blue with bright yellow letters. And you don't even have to see a logo. Most of them don't even have a logo, but when you see it, you know that's a used tire shop. So your graphic elements communicate value and interest, and you should represent your prospective customers and what they aspire to do. Not you, but your prospective customers. And then your brand messaging, tone, and your voice do the same thing, helping you communicate what your brand is about, how it relates to them, and how it aligns with their values. So think of, again, let's go back to McDonald's. When they speak to you, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. They don't even spell loving it properly because they want to reach the common person, right? But then look at a company like Rolex. For one, their whole campaign is centered around like golf and tennis and, living this luxurious lifestyle, right? And then the way they speak to you is in a sophisticated manner. That's because they're trying to reach a specific person. You'll see McDonald's commercials air during a football game, but you'll never see a Rolex commercial during that football game. But however, if you watch tennis or play golf, you'll probably see their branding all over it, because that's the lifestyle that a person that usually wears a Rolex lives. So I hope you're getting some value out of this, and I hope your light bulb is turning on in your head, and you're about to start applying some of this to your business so that you can attract and appeal to the right person. All right. So these shared values that we just talked about and ideas create a basis of your brand. Before you choose a logo and colors, you need to define your values and ideas. So let's go back to the T&W Tote example, or TW Tote. It positions itself as a luxury but approachable brand. They want their products to be accessible while meeting their standards for quality and style. So they use these characteristics to describe who they are, what they want to be, and how they want to be perceived. So these values can be written into a brand positioning statement that establishes the foundation for your marketing efforts. And I'm gonna give you an example of that in just a second. So as you can see on the screen, we go back to the business owners. You look at the imagery of how they take their pictures. Look how they're dressed. Look where they are. So if you see this, you see two professionals probably meeting up somewhere to have lunch. And the way, and even the feel of the photography, it tells you that this is for a specific type of person. However, they're not so professional that they look too distinguished and unapproachable like a Richie Rich or something. All right. So your brand positioning statement is the North Star. Again, this is your compass to where you want to get to, and it can also be used externally in your marketing. It should include the customers you serve, what you offer and how it addresses your customers' needs, how you're the best at what you do, and what separates you from your competitors. So let me give you an example of this. And before I give you an example of this, right, let me just tell you, good branding creates a cohesive, powerful experience for your customers. And it begins where we're about to go. So you want to take a picture of this so that you can do this for your company. And then I'm going to give you an example of a filled out one on the next slide. So here's a template that you can use for any business. And the blue words are just placeholders. So replace the 5 placeholders with words that apply to your brand, like so. TW Tote for working professionals, very clear, who need a stylish and functional lunch bag. TW Tote provides a fashionable, insulated, vegan leather tote because everyone deserves a luxurious and functional lunch bag that the entire family can use. Straight to the point. It speaks to who they want to speak to, and it tells them exactly what they're going to get and the value. and what
Yeah,
they
I
say.
hope y'all screenshotted this because this is like game changing.
Can we go back one, G, and then
Yeah.
come back to that?
So I'm gonna give you a second to to screenshot this.
Like that's your statement. Sheesh.
All right. And here's the filled out examples that you can use as a reference. And actually, the crazy part is we just getting started.
Right.
So I got to give you the basics so that you can go into some other stuff. Because it's a lot of the times, like I said, we just jump right into trying to sell. And it's no different than you as a person. You position yourself as a person to attract your tribe or your mate or your friends, right? And it starts with becoming a specific type of person and aligning yourself and putting yourself in position to become who that mate or friends or business owner or business partner is attracted to. Your business is no different than a person. You have to take the same approach. No different than if I could see Tonio walking down the street, I don't have to see his face. Just by how he moves and how he carries himself, I know that's Tonio. When you drive down the road and you see a Chick-fil-A billboard, you don't have to see a Chick-fil-A logo to know that it's a Chick-fil-A billboard. That's the power of building a brand the right way. All right. So once you define your prospect customers and your customers, your prospects, and then now you design a brand that's going to appeal to them and speaks to them. Now you got to get online, right? So you may find an audience through existing platforms. Of course, we all use social media. Some of us are on seller sites like maybe Etsy. Some of us still use directories. Often made for specific professions like plumbers, accountants, lawyers. These platforms can help you reach specific customers, but using them is like renting an office. You don't own that space. So again, let me say that again, especially my friends that are social media heavy. You don't own everything you see on the screen. You do not own these platforms. You're leasing that space. How many of us remember the times when Instagram and Facebook and all the other platforms have gone down and we couldn't post? How would you communicate with your customers if you put all your eggs in those baskets? All right. So what this means is the owner can change the space, raise the rent, or even go out of business and leave you leave you hanging and dry. How many times we figured out what works on social and then boom, they change the algorithm and now you're not getting the same amount of reach. I got one better for you. How many times you said something that's regular, language to you, but then they send you a message saying, hey, we gave you a strike on your page because this goes against our guidelines. So again, you're at the mercy of the people that control the platforms. So I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying understand that this is not yours. Your goal should be to start the conversation there and get them off of there. So if you build your brand's presence only on these platforms, you risk the chance of your soul connection to your customers being wiped at the whim of the platform. So these platforms should only be used as a supplement to your own website, landing pages. Your goal should be to start the conversation there and to continue it where you own it. You start the conversation at a bar, Tonio, but you want to take her to your place.
Maybe the hotel.
The hotel, but you leasing the hotel. But either way, you want to start the conversation somewhere and you want to get it somewhere where it's your platform and you own it and you can manipulate it the way you want to manipulate it, not at the mercy of someone else. So if you have a website, drop a 1 in the chat. I think we all should know this, but as we know, building your own website ensures that you own your online real estate. So Tonio and Ashley are real estate investors, but they also own a lot of real estate online as well. The Denmarks is one of them. REI Live, REI Decoded. You know, they own a bunch of different, you know, and not even talking about the landing pages for the sexy flipping conference and a couple of other things that you guys do. But these are platforms they own. I own the domain gilbertoherrera.com online, you know, and a couple of others as well. But we have full control over its contents and how it behaves. You can also grow and customize these things as your business grows. You know, we don't wait for updates from a platform to be able to make changes. If we need an update, we change it as we go. Also, your own website can be optimized for search engines, helping people find you. So if you're not putting emphasis on your website, you should, because when someone is online and they start searching, that's usually where they'll land. All right. So Google offers a way to get your business online by creating a free profile. So if you don't have a website, don't worry about it. We got you. Google has a free tool called the Google Business Profile that shows critical business information across searches across Google and Maps, and it's optimized for pretty much every device that you could think of. This doesn't replace a website, but it can help you know, you stand out in search results. It also drives customers to your website. So creating a business profile, you know, helps you control the details Google displays, you know, like your business hours, your contact information, your store location, or locations, pictures, videos, and much more. The beautiful thing about this, it also has a bunch of built-in marketing features to communicate with your customers throughout the customer journey. I'm sorry, not jersey. So for more information, just go to google.com/business if you don't have one. Most of us probably already have one. I would just tell you to, you know, take it to the next level and fill it out completely, constantly update it, and add pictures and videos, or encourage your customers to add pictures and videos. And also another thing that we sleep on are those reviews that your customers leave you on your business profile. I've found a lot of dishes at restaurants because a customer said, this is the only healthy option at this restaurant. Try this, 5 stars. But it wasn't in the profile, but because that customer put those keywords in there, it helped them stand out when I was looking for something. So think about that. All right. So now that we know how customers discover your brand, some move on to the next phase. Not all, but some move on to the next phase of the journey. And that's when they start considering you. That's when they start doing research on you. That's when they start thinking about doing business with you. So here you can guide your customers through a journey to evaluate your brand. You do this by engaging them and influencing them to learn more about you. But also keep in mind that while they're doing this, they're also looking at other options. So during this phase, you know, customers are deciding whether or not they want to do business with you. So they're evaluating your brand, they're evaluating your competitors, and they're evaluating every single choice that they have with the information that's in front of them and that's readily available to them to help them decide what or if to buy. So your marketing strategy is to should provide answers to their questions and other details to help them evaluate who you are and what it is that you have to offer to them. Because at this stage, they're just gathering information. So engaging your customers during the consideration phase is crucial. So what do I mean by that? So you need to learn about what their needs are, and not just their needs, but their wants, by listening to them, asking them questions, and having meaningful conversations. Spend time communicating and delivering, value and valuable information and content to your customers. And I'm gonna show you how to figure out what to say, and in a couple of slides over, I'm gonna give you some free tools that can help you with this. So your goal during this phase is to build interest and desire in your customer, so they want to develop a deeper and longer relationship with your brand. Does that make sense? So it's not just about the sale, it's about building that relationship. because we buy from who we know, like, and trust, right?
Right.
Right. So to learn more about your customers, you need to listen and don't just make assumptions. Don't just assume that you have it all figured out. And we do this a lot, even when we run ads. You know, when I run ads for people, the first thing I tell them is don't expect to make money the first month. But however, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be listening and paying attention, and the data tells us what we need to do next. So determine their pain points. So people are either running away from fear and pain or running towards success. If you know what their pain points are and you can speak to those pain points, they'll trust you more than if you just speak to success. So the better you understand those needs, the better you can create solutions and communicate with them. So let's go back to T&W Tote. They discovered that their customers loved their lunch bag, but also needed different types of totes for a variety of uses. So if you can address the challenges your potential customers have with your particular industry, products, or within your brand specifically, you should be able to anyway. So Starbucks used to have this little green stopper that they use to keep the coffee hot. You know how they got that? They listened to their customers. They didn't come up with that. The customers told them that they wanted that, and they developed it because their customers wanted it.
That's why I go to Starbucks and not Dunkin' Donuts. And I get so mad if they run out. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, I think they're trying to phase that out, but don't quote me.
I hope not.
Yeah. So you need to analyze what your customers are searching for online, so that you can have insights into what they want and need. So by listening and learning, you know, I say this all the time. The best way to win is by using your 2 ears, your 2 eyes, instead of that one mouth. If you pay attention more than you speak, even when you in business, you can position yourself to be the thought leader that you need to be. So, all right. So how can you position yourself to find what customers are looking for, right? So one, you can use Google search to find out what your customers may be looking for. So often it's for solutions to their problems. Fast food restaurant near me, healthy restaurant near me, real estate investing near me, realtor near me, phone repair near me. So how do your prospective customers search? What terms do they use that can connect them to your brand or your products? So searches by T&W Toast customers might be around fashionable work bags or style tips. So again, remember, you notice what I just said. I didn't just say the bags. It could also be style tips. So think in terms of, if you're, let's say, a realtor, they might be looking at interior design. How do you position yourself to be in that conversation? And if they're looking for interior design, that could be one or two things. They're looking to renovate what they have, or they're looking for ideas, to decorate their home when they move into their first time home, or they upgrade a home, or they downgrade. So just think about that. So these search terms become the keywords and key phrases that should be used regularly. So again, when you're online, it's not about what you want, how you want to show up. You need to position yourself to show up how people search for you. So most small businesses should have at least 5 and up to 30 keywords or phrases they know their customers use to search for their type of products or services. So what keywords have you identified for your business? So drop some in the chat for me. And I'm gonna give you some ways to be able to find some in just a second. So whenever you enter a search query, you'll see a list of related searches at the bottom of the search results page. So as you can see, if you start typing on Google and you search for something, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, Google is going to give you some suggested or related searches, right? Or even if you just start typing, before you even end your phrase, Google is going to suggest them to you. And even YouTube. You know, if they're suggesting it to you, that means that there's a lot of volume around those things. You need to be in that conversation. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right, perfect.
He just taught me something. So
Yeah.
I put while they putting their stuff in, I'm gonna tell you what I put in. I put in buy investment, but I got some things that I never thought of. Buy investment properties, buy investment property with 401k, buy investment property with 5,000 down, buy investment property without 20 down, buy investment property with HELOC, buy investment land. Like,
So you see, so if Google is giving it to you, that means there's a lot of searches.
Real
What?
estate investing for beginners.
Yep. So check this out. There's another tool that we can use, and it's a free tool. It's called Google Trends. This can also help you find keywords and ideas for new content. So Google Trend, I love this tool because it shows you the relative popularity of different search terms on Google. So if it has enough data, it'll show you a forecast of a search volume and of searches and experience that is experiencing significant growth. So you can also use it to find and compare the popularity of different words and phrases. You can use it, to determine seasonality of different searches and to see when searches happen geographically. So if you're on Google Trends, Tonio, just type in real estate investing and see what comes up. And then I want you to drill down to Alabama. And then just do like, instead of doing like, 5 years ago, do like the past 12 months.
you doing this? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm trying to figure out how to drill in to Alabama. Like,
let me start. Let me see if I can do it real quick. I just stopped sharing, and I'm gonna share another screen.
city.
Google window. Where is it? Because I know I got it up. I think it's no, that's not it. Did I click out of? All right, let me cancel it. Let me pull up a. Oh, okay. I know what it is. All right. Can you see Google Trends?
It's coming up.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we're doing this in real time. So 9 times out of 10, when you're on this, it'll probably be like nationwide. See, it says United States, and this is giving me data for the past day. When it pops up, it's taking a minute to load. All right. So what I'm gonna do when the map pops up, it's gonna give you a map. But as you can see right here, nationwide, these are the rising topics. I don't know if you can see it yet.
And somebody put, "Listen, this is game changing for me."
We locked in too.
Yeah. So can you see the screen, or is it still loading?
We can
see the screen.
All right. So you notice these are the topics that are like rising. But if I change this and I go to top, look at the topics: investment, estate law, And these are just the topics, right? But then you got the queries over here. You see right here, how do I get into real estate investing? It's the top rising results. So people are searching for this consistently. But if I go to top, if I change this from rising to top, I get a different result. Investing in real estate investing books. So what I would do if I see this, I'm gonna make a blog that says top real estate investing books, and I'm gonna have a call to action to book a call with me. Because if I'm searching for real estate investment books, and I see the Denmarks have a blog and they recommend the top 5 real estate investment books that they've read as real estate investors who do it successfully, the next logical step would be to get on the phone with them or to join a Facebook group or whatever the call to action needs to be. But this is in the US. And you look at the top states, right? And the top subregions are Kansas, DC, Delaware, Utah, New Hampshire. Those are the top 5. So I'm showing you this because the basis of this is you can be as detailed or not as detailed as possible. And this is just a past day. Look at the searches just in the past couple days. But let's do the last 12 months.
Well, this is a game changer.
Right.
So as you can see right there, real estate investing is steady over time, right? It looks like the top season is October. In January, I guess, because people start, they got a little more income coming in. Then in May, and then October. Those are your peak seasons, and it looks like your worst season is the beginning of October as well, when people start doing their taxes and stuff, I guess.
Yep.
But as you can see, and then we can compare different terms so there's because it has so much data on this, they don't even have a map for this. But let's type in Alabama, US, Alabama.
And it looked different on your desktop versus the phone. It was a lot smoother on that phone, on your desktop.
Yeah.
Versus on the phone.
This is the last 12 months in the state of Alabama, right? Flat in January. Your peak season probably going to be March. Mm-hmm. Then it dies down some. And then you go back up September and it dies down, and then it lies flat in December. So your 2 peak seasons for real estate investment based on the data, based on the searches, when people are searching for it the most in Alabama over the last 12 months has been March, and then you got September over here. Your top areas have been Mobile, Huntsville, and Birmingham. So Tony, it looks like we need to be taking a trip to Mobile and Huntsville.
Sound like it to me.
Yep. Look at this right here. Your top related topics are property, market, company, organization types, and then taxes around it. And then the top, investment, real estate investment, properties, and estate law. So we need to get an estate attorney to court joint some sort of blog with you, or we need them on the REI Live podcast so that we can use that as content and show up in the algorithm. But this is what you use. This is what you use this tool for. And I'm taking my time because I can just skim through this and I'll show you how it works. But this is how I create content. My blog on LinkedIn, which generates me probably 50 leads a day. I come in here and I find stuff.
Yeah, this is crazy for trying to forecast what your sales are going to look like, how much staff you need. This is telling me that in March and April, I need to make sure that I have people that can answer calls, that can help onboarding and assisting people. This is telling me in September, when people are back to school and they're back to the swing of things, that people are looking to end out their year with houses, with learning how to invest. Like in whatever market, in whatever industry that you in, this can help you forecast, okay, when are my peak seasons? I can't go on vacation in March and September that's a no. I can't go on vacation in October because I'm going to be still fulfilling the things from September. I can't go on vacation in August because I need to prepare. I need to prepare for what September, October, November is going to look like.
Yep.
I didn't even know Google offered this. That's game changing.
And then look, you can compare different terms. So I just typed in house flipping. The red is house flipping, and then the blue is just real estate investing as a whole. So as you can see, people like to flip in June.
Crazy.
You know, let's add another term just for so steady over time, but it picks up. Looks like your peak season for wholesaling is going to be like October again and August.
I think I need to change my conference date next year to March.
Yeah. So you see how powerful this tool is for those that are watching. This is nothing matters in business besides the data. My opinion, your opinion doesn't matter. The data that we gather over time is what matters, because if people are searching for it, that means they want it. It's not when we want it, it's when they want it and how they want it. So make sure that you use this tool to your arsenal. I use this for so many different things, and I'm gonna show you a couple of more in just a second that you can add to your arsenal to make sure that you stand out and win in business. So let's go back to the presentation.
Google trending everything.
All right, window share. All right, let's see. Like I said, I'm throwing a lot at you, but I wanted to end the year off so that to set you up for 2024 with a bang. All right. So
yeah, drop some hearts in the chat if you're learning something. Drop some hearts in the chat because this is crazy.
Yeah. All right. So
it's
now
free.
This is free stuff. This is a free tool that Google has, and I just showed you how to use it to set yourself up. Your competitors aren't doing this. I'm telling you right now. All right. So once you know what your customer is looking for, which I just showed you how to find it, it's time to give them what they want, right? So you shift from listening to communicating. It begins when you start sharing content that educates and inspires. So people are only online, and I'm gonna share something with you too. Those that are heavy social media focused. When you're on social media and you're marketing to a customer, you're interrupting their day. They don't show up on social media to be marketed to. They show up there because they want to be educated, inspired. They want to see their loved ones. They want to laugh and things of that nature, right? When you start pushing your product and service in front of them, you're an intruder. So if you're going to intrude on their day, it better be good. And when you shift to communicating by educating and inspiring, people start to know, like, and trust you more. So your customers most likely don't know half of what you know or about your industry, and even less about your specific products or services. So what can you teach them? What can you demonstrate or instruct them in? How can you help them, inspire them, and provide resources? So you want to engage with your customers by giving them valuable information that proves that you're credible and you're a source of information about your industry. You want to give them content that builds trust by sharing your expertise, and also content that's relatable and likable. Oftentimes, I know a lot of smart people, but they don't know how to communicate their smarts to their audience. Understand that your customer wants to be spoken to a certain way, and how you communicate is very important. So you notice when myself, Ashley, Tonio, we post on social. We don't post big paragraphs because the human mind is not made to comprehend information that way. We break things up. We try to, a rule of thumb, write a post, then reread it. If you can take out words, take them out. If you can replace words, and then replace it with one word, take them out. The less, the better. Less is more. People are not there to read; they're there to scan. They're scrolling. Remember, you want to stop the scroll and take them somewhere else. So this type of communication isn't about promoting your products or services. It's about offering information, that helps them with their research, essentially trading value for their attention. So you want their attention. You want to trade value for attention. Just like we trade value, time for money online, you want to get their attention and you want to trade that with value. So you can share content, words, photos, videos through many different channels, right? You don't have to be on all of them, but you do have the opportunity to reach the different audiences in different ways through different channels. So think of, each of these channels as a means to share your content, to grab their attention in a place where your customers are likely to spend time and learn. So just like knowing your customer, it's like fishing. You want to go where the fish are. If you like, tuna or salmon, you're not going to go fish in a place where catfish are. It's no different than your customer. So now that you know who your customer is, ask yourself, where do they spend time at? And you position yourself there. Don't go to XYZ because it's popular and it's trendy. If your customers aren't there, then you're wasting your time. You can't take likes and engagement to the bank, and you can't change lives just because somebody likes and engages with your content, especially if you're not reaching the person that you want to add value and that you're supposed to be serving. So just like the Denmarks, T&W Toe has a YouTube channel with commercial style videos talking about their products and features. They showcase special offers on social media and on their blog. So there are a lot of choices, and they come out with new ones every single day. But you want to choose the channels based on where your customers spend their time and what best delivers the content you're sharing. Ultimately, again, like I said earlier, and I keep drilling this to you, you want to drive traffic back to your website and share content directly on your website. If you have a business profile on Google, you can use the post features to share content that links back to your site. So again, no one wants to feel like they're being sold to. That's what scares so many businesses away from marketing. But as long as your marketing is customer focused and is appropriate at each phase of the journey, and you're actually sharing, not selling, you will be good to go. Your goal should be to make buying their idea. And you do that, again, by sharing that transformation that we've been talking about. You want to provide opportunities for your customers to evaluate your brand and products through content. One page on the T&W Toad's website describes how their products are made and what makes them special. So you can do this with a frequently asked questions on your website or a comparison spec sheet, to understand the different packages. You might even create demo videos and educational webinars that help customers evaluate your brand. Sampling and, free trials are also, ways to help, decide whether or not to buy. So when you go in the food court in the mall, who has the samples?
The Chinese.
Yes.
The Asians, right?
Every time.
Every time. And if it wasn't working, they wouldn't be doing it.
It get Tanya every time.
They get me all the time. I didn't come in there for that sweet and sour chicken. Once you taste it, you know what? Let me get that $7.99 plate.
Right. With no drink.
Right. So you want to do things that appeal to your customer. So if you go to Best Buy's website, you can compare different cameras to each other and they give you all the specs. If you on Amazon, when you start looking at products, a lot of them at the end of it have a demo video. If you're in e-commerce and you sell clothes, maybe you can have a way where they can zoom in and see the quality of the fabric, and then also, how to wear it. These are just certain things that set you apart from other people. you know so again, nothing happens without relationships, right? So communicating is the way with your customers and your prospective customers that helps develop relationships built on trust, credibility, and likability. So these are the things you earn by putting in work that we've talked about so far. So beyond sharing great content, you also need to spend time solving their problems, which matters more. So even the ones that come up before they become a paying customer, you can influence the consideration by having conversations, answering questions, and helping your customers evaluate you. So let's take it a step further. Even after they become your customer, once you solve one problem, you create another problem. So once you become a part of X Flipper Academy and you get your first property, then what's the next problem I have? I got disposable income, or I might have made a significant amount of money. I don't know what to do with it. So that's another problem I have. Now I may want to go do 2-3 properties.
That's a common one there. Once they do that first one, that next conversation is, how do I do 2 of these at a time?
You see what I'm saying? So you solve one problem, but you created another problem. As a realtor, you solve one problem by helping them get into that home, but you created another problem. What other problem did you create, might I ask? Well, a lot of them don't know how to manage their money. A lot of them, this might be just their starter home, but they want to upgrade later. So you create another problem. Now you got to help them get to that other stage. See, a lot of us just stop at the first sale. So you want to have a consistent content strategy that's dedicated and engages your customers throughout a variety of channels that will solidify a relationship that lasts. Keyword is a relationship that lasts. So once they become your client, or even before they become your client, it needs to be their idea that they want to become your client. And then you want to keep serving them over and over again by showing them problems that they might not even know they had.
So I'm gonna interrupt real quick because this is for my purpose question. I'm pretty sure other people might have it also. So you have them as a customer now, and you created that secondary problem. Are you marketing only to your customers to solve that secondary problem, or is that a completely different marketing channel that other people can also fall into? And I don't know if I even communicated that out loud.
Yeah. So and this is getting a little deeper, Tony, but you just like you got segmented audiences, right? You don't talk to your customers the same way you talk to your prospects. Your customers have already dealt with you, so they understand who you are and what you do, but they also know different terminologies and different jargons and things of that nature. And because they've done their first, let's say, flip, and they got into funding, they got the first flip, what's the next step in X Flipper Academy after they do what's the next likely step? Like you said, hey, the next logical solution, and this is the conversation throughout every stage. Because you took this step, the next logical step is this. Because you got one property and now you have this extra disposable income on top of what you already had, the next logical step is this in the journey.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's what you want it to be based on on the expertise that you have. But your customer, your prospect might have downloaded, they might have just joined the Facebook group. Hey, because you joined this Facebook group for real estate investing, the next logical step is to show up to REI Live next month. Let's take it offline and meet me in person. Now that you've been to REI Live, the next step is for us to have a one-on-one.
Okay, I follow.
Yep. All right, so let's look at another real world business example to help us understand the third and fourth phases of the customer journey. So you got Tracy and Danny, the mother-daughter team behind Wicked Good Cupcakes. So they in 2010, they took the cake decorating classes. Their passion became their business, and their first store opened in October 2011. And so as they grew and their reputation grew, they received hundreds of shipping requests, but they couldn't find a way to ship cupcakes and have them arrive fresh and intact. So that's when they came up with, the idea to put the cupcakes in a mason jar. So all they did was fill mason jars with layers of cake, frosting, and filling, and that allowed the cupcakes to stay fresh for 10 days without being in the fridge, and they can be shipped easily. So because they built a brand the right way, news spread, and in April 2023, they debuted their product on Shark Tank. So they got a chance to be in front of 10 million people. So Wicked Good Cupcakes became a go-to site to buy unique baked goods online. So, and with that TV appearance on a popular TV show, Wicked Good Cupcakes had achieved brand awareness and were actively engaging with their customers. So their next step was to focus on increasing purchases and turning customers into brand loyal advocates. So because of this, it was time for them to do more marketing and focus on conversions and loyalty. So they went on Shark Tank. Now they got 10 million eyes on them. Automatically, that's going to create an influx, and that's going to increase the traffic going to all their sites and wherever else they can be found, right? Now they needed to set themselves up to be able to capture that traffic, because it's one thing to just get their attention, but you got to position yourself to capture that traffic. All right. So they needed to learn more about their customers so they could better convert them. They needed to identify opportunities to improve their website and ways to make their entire experience, especially the checkout process, more efficient. And more on that in a minute. They also needed to give their customers reasons to come back to the site. They made sure that they wanted to share their experience with others and eventually become brand advocates. So with the help of Wicked Good Cupcakes, we're going to talk about, the last two phases of the customer journey and how your marketing can convert more customers during the conversion phase and turn them into loyal customers during the loyalty phase. So let's start with the conversion phase. This is what we all want. We want conversions, right? We do all this work to be able to draw them in, but let's be real. We want to convert them into customers. So once your marketing has addressed the awareness and consideration, you should have some leads that start coming in and have become prospects and are ready to become paying customers. So in this phase, your job as a marketer is to influence leads and prospects to become paying customers. And this process is called conversion. So to convert customers, you need to figure out which leads are most likely to become customers and focus your marketing efforts on them. So to do this, you need to identify, certain actions that lead to a conversion. Then, share the right marketing messages and a timely call to action to make sure that, the purchase, those customers purchase. Finally, you'll convert more customers when you streamline the purchase process and make it as easy as possible. And I'm going to go over this in just a second because this is critical. And a lot of us lose sales because by the time a customer is ready to buy, we make it complex for them to buy. So how do you know where your customers are in the journey? Well, we look at their actions, right? We talked about it earlier. Antonio started realizing that Ashley was ready to get married when she started saying, hey, bro, what we doing? What's the next step? I mean, I ain't got no ring yet. What's up? Your customers are usually saying the same thing to you. But these key actions vary, right, depending on the business. But some of them are, maybe they sign up for your email list. They submit a form or request for a quote. They download something, maybe a brochure. Maybe they download a video. they sign up for a trial or a demo. You know, they download your app. They call you or email you to schedule a consultation. You know, maybe they're placing a product in their online shopping cart and then leave the site before making that purchase. So, but it's important to remember these key actions won't all be online. So, for instance, Wicked Good Cupcakes, their key action was visits to the cupcake truck offering samples. When they went online, you know, they saw that the customers they saw that some websites visitors were placing items in their shopping cart but not completing the purchase. So these actions signal a higher interest level than just someone visiting the website, because you know, to place something in your cart, you got to take action. You got to click a couple buttons and you got to take a couple steps. So because of that, you know, they identified them as people that may be likely to buy. I got some stuff in my cart right now, and I keep getting retargeted by those companies who I haven't bought from. I don't blame them. They make sure that I stay in front of them. You know, and a lot of us go through that. So they identify these visitors and then send them coupons, giving them a nudge to buy. So think about your business. What customer actions can help you identify people who might be ready to become customers? And a lot of us don't have physical goods like TW Told or you know, Wicked Good Cupcakes. Some of us are service-based businesses, right? If someone lands on your site and they download something, or they start playing around, and you're not pixeling them and retargeting them, then they probably move on to somebody else. And I'm gonna show you another way where you can gauge the level of interest just based on the traffic of your website in just a second as well. So once you identify who's ready to buy and make a purchase, it's time to share content and call to actions designed, you know, to convert. So as I mentioned earlier, Wicked Good Cupcakes sent coupons to people who abandoned, you know, their shopping carts. And that's a great way, especially if somebody's never bought from you, just give them a little discount. You know, your conversion efforts could include a discount or some special deal like buy one, get one free, or an exclusive offer with more of a VIP feel. You know, you could also send an invitation to special content like a webinar or an event, or even include testimonials, you know, that share more about your brand. So think about what else could offer value or be a value added service, you know, like free shipping or free tutorial, you know, with the product specialist. You know, present these value adds in a way that sound good and compelling, but also make them time sensitive, make them take action. So good copywriting will go a long way. And copywriting, for those that don't know, is the words that sell on your website, on social media, online, you know, period. So good copy will go a long way in creating a persuasive call to action. How many of us know what a call to action is? If you don't know, you know, please let us know. We'll break it down for you. Well, I just break it down anyway. So essentially, this is a call to action right here. So as you can see, that shop now button, that's what you call a call to action. If your customers don't know the next step to take, and it's not right in their face, then you're probably leaving money on the table. If I go to a website and there's no call to action, and it's hard for me to even find a way to buy from you, I'm gonna go to somebody else that makes it easy for me. And these buttons need to be placed strategically in certain places, because the human mind reads a certain way, and then on mobile, it needs to be where your thumb can reach it. So as you can see, this is a page from, you know, Wicked Good Cupcakes, and this is on a mobile version. Notice a shop now button is at the bottom. Think about it on your phone. If you're holding your phone, that shop now button is right there where your thumb is at.
Genius.
Does that make sense? So so marketing is not just art, it's also science. And there's a lot of science that goes into this as well. So now we talked about what you should do to convert customers. Now let's look at a tool that can help you accomplish it. How many of us know what Google Analytics is? All right. So basically it's another no-cost tool that can help you identify key customer actions that happen on your website. This is key. Again, If you don't know what people are doing when they come into your home, how can you make your home better? Or how can you, make them do what it is that you want them to do? Like when you go to an IKEA store, it's like you go in one way and you go out another way. It's on purpose. When you go into a grocery store, the produce is in the front, the milk is in the back. Scientifically, they did that on purpose. Once you start making good decisions in the front, you can start making bad decisions towards the back. You notice the ice cream is not far from the produce either, because once you get your fruit and your vegetables, now you feel good, and now you can say, well, I can splurge a little bit on ice cream and the junk. The water is all the way in the back. It's on purpose because you got to walk by a million things, and you normally don't just leave out with the water. You leave out with something else. Well, while I'm here and I pass this aisle, I can grab this. You need to be setting your website up the same way. So your website is one of the most popular website analytics platform available. This is Google Analytics. I mean, there are others, but this is Google's free version, right? It allows you to track the customer journey on your website and app if you have one. So Google Analytics will help you discover important information about your website, like how do people find my site? What do customers interact with once they find me online? What demographic group visits my website the most? What channel drives them the most? And which channels and actions drive the most conversion? And that's key. Why is that key? Because if somebody's sending me traffic that's converting, I'm gonna put my efforts where they are. Google Analytics can help you do better marketing throughout the entire customer journey. So specific to the conversion phase, Google Analytics provides insights into actions impacting your conversions that help you identify customers, that are ready to convert. And it lets you analyze your conversion process so that you can get more people to complete actions important to your business. So if you don't have a Google Analytics account, as you can see online on the screen, if you go to g.co/analytics, if you have a Google account already, you can just sign in for free. Now, what you need to do to set this up is they'll give you a code, and it needs to be added to your website, specifically every page of your website. I usually let a webmaster do that. I'm not messing with no code, but once it's on there, Google Analytics can see exactly what people are doing on your site and how they got there, and even how they converted.
Better than a pixel.
Yep, better than a pixel. So this right here is one of my favorites. So if you're not familiar with Google Analytics, let me pause right here for just a second, because I got a whole presentation on that. But let me just show you a screenshot of a Google Analytics dashboard. And I know we didn't budget for this time, but I'm about to wrap up. But I just want them to see what it looks like when they log in. It's super easy to use, and
man, you're good with me. I'm just overwhelmed personally.
So here's an analytics dashboard, right? And you can customize it and put your logo on it and everything. But it shows you how many sessions they have, right? How long people stay on your site. How many people are new. So you see right here, this bounce rate, that's very important. What this means is 72% of the people that come to that website leave automatically. So they just come and leave right away. So what that means is there's a disconnect somewhere. The disconnect can be between what you said to get them there and what they saw when they came there. So your goal is to try to keep this bounce rate as low as possible. And as you can see right here, it says the bounce rate is up 68%. So this account did something that made their bounce rate go up. And it could be something like, I'm running an ad, but I sent you to the wrong page because the message is not the same. So whatever you said to get people to your website needs to be the same as what's on your website. So don't run an ad for a first-time home buyer and then they go to your website and then they're looking at upgrading their home. They're going to leave right away because it doesn't resonate with them.
Google
All
didn't
right.
have to use that word bounce.
Yep, they out of here. So look at how many completions they've had. Now this is good. For some reason their bounce rate is up, but their completions are up. So if they get their bounce rate under control, this number will probably go up too. So now you can see I don't even know. I just found a screenshot on Google, but just by me analyzing the data, I'm looking at like, man, if I get this bounce rate down, I can rest assured if I keep people on the website for an average of 26 seconds, they're gonna buy something or they're gonna take an action that I want them to take. And as you can see, they visit about 3 pages on the website. And then the crazy part is you can go in and see what pages they visited, in what order, how long they stayed on each page. And as you can see right here, towards the bottom, most of it's a split between organic traffic and social media. And look at the sessions, you know. So based on this, I'm gonna put some resources behind social media since it's bringing me the most amount of traffic. And the average session from someone that comes from social media is about 34 seconds versus the average, which is 26 seconds overall. And you see right here, even though the traffic is about the same in organic versus social, I got way more completions, and the completion and the pages per session is higher. So that means that people that are coming from social media are the most engaged. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's making too much.
So again, like I was saying, nothing matters in business but the data that we have. And you got to set yourself up to have the right amount of data from the right places. Google Analytics is one of those tools. I just didn't want to bypass that without you guys seeing the power of this tool. And I will tell you, if you don't have it, if you set it up, whoever is managing your website, make sure that they set it up for you. And once they set it up, give it a minute and you'll be able to see your information in real time. All right. So, Tonio, I'm going to ask you this question in a minute, but another tool that Google has, this is one of the only tools that you had to pay for, and that's because it's a more targeted approach. It's Google Ads, right? One of the advantages of digital advertising is the ability to deliver specific content to specific groups of people. And these ads let you show ads to the right people at the right time, making them more likely to convert into paying customers. So, for example, you can use Google Ads to put sales messages into incentives in front of people for products like yours. So they can appear on search and they can also appear on other websites like YouTube. So, and even in the map section, depending on what you're positioning. So there are many formats available to Google Ads. Text, you got image ads, shopping ads, you got video ads, just to name a few, right? There are also special type of campaign ads. One you may recognize, even if you've never heard of it, it's called remarketing. So in these campaigns, your ads can appear to potential customers after he or she visits your website. So we just talked about this. When you connect your Google Ads to your Google Analytics account, you're also able to create ads directly from your Google Analytics data and learn more about the impact of your ad campaigns. So let me say that again. You can create ads specifically from your Google Analytics account based on the data that you have in your Google Analytics account. So people ask me all the time, what's the difference between the ads that we run on social versus the ads that we run, let's say, on Google, right? And I said it earlier, when you're on social media, you're intrusive. Nobody shows up there looking for ads. But when I am searching on Google, I am searching with intent, meaning I'm already searching for this. So I just have to position myself to show up when you're searching for what I have to offer. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. So a lot of us kind of negate that fact. Now, I'm not saying not to run social media ads because they work, but I use them. But the difference is I'm probably going to get a likelihood of me converting someone when they're searching for a luxury realtor and I show up versus seeing a luxury realtor on my feed, 20 or 30 times and I'm not searching for it is greater. Now, Google ads probably cost a little more than social ads, but that's because again, people are searching with intent versus, you know, your social ads. The person might not be looking for it right away. You kind of have to, you know, you kind of have to convince them to kind of click on what you have going on. All right. So lastly, this is the final phase, and this is how we turn people into loyalists, right? So in other phases, you can influence customers' actions through focused marketing that sustains loyalty and encourage them to recommend you to others. So by giving customers more to consume and making their experience great, you can sustain their business and earn their loyalty. Loyal customers think of your brand over all other brands. You know, think of, you know, the competitor to Google that dominates the, you know, the wireless area, right? People are loyal to that brand. All right. So much so that even if it makes sense to leave them, they won't leave. So this will help encourage the, you know, once you have loyalists, and you give them something to promote, this helps encourage them to promote your brand and products to people they know, helping you reach new customers. So have you been an advocate for a business you love? Let us know in the chat. Who are you an advocate for, and who do you represent? I'm an advocate for the Denmarks. I'm always referring people to them because I trust them. And I know for a fact whenever I bring someone to them, they are going to do right by them every single time. You know, they're like family at this point. So I don't even have to. Yeah. And I'm always, not only that, I'm always finding ways to position them to be in other rooms to help their brand increase, their brand awareness increase. And that's because I am a loyalist of the Denmarks.
All right, I got one. You don't know what I'm saying.
I hope it's not the same as the one I have in my head. Go.
I'm a brand advocate for Cheesecake Factory.
Hey, after that little commotion that happened on social,
I am a brand advocate for McDonald's.
Yeah.
My kids are gonna love it every time. It's gonna be fast. The fries are gonna be amazing. Nothing else. The fries is gonna be amazing.
No matter where you go, the fries are the same.
Yep. It's consistency.
Yep. So it's funny, man. Have you guys met Larry Thornton, the owner of the McDonald's here locally?
I haven't. I've met Larry, but I'm more connected to his son, Dale.
Dale, okay. I gotta connect you with Larry. He's doing some stuff with it. He has the Why Not Win Institute, which is a business institute, and he's taking it. You know, he's taking the show on the road. So I need to connect y'all with him anyway.
Okay.
Absolutely. Give Arthur. They say, what's that swinging behind you?
What's what?
What's that right there?
So it's just a kinetic stick. It helps, you know, like supposed to help with like relieve stress and anxiety and stuff like that. But it just looks good in the office. You probably seen it on another popular platform that we're not gonna mention here. I ain't trying to fight nobody today.
All right, so I got a question, and I'm sure if you have questions, I don't know if G have time for questions.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have time for questions. We got a couple more slides and
okay. I can hold my question to the end of the slide.
Yep. All right. So let's start by saying this: all customers aren't created equal, right? A customer who stays interested and engaged with your brand and continues shopping with you has a lot of value to your business. So how do you create more of these type of customers? Of course, by providing value to them, right? You might do this through consistently excellent customer service. You know, new products as well. You know, different programs and different incentives. So ultimately, you want to keep your customers happy, engaged, and buying from you. Because again, I told you in the beginning, there's only 3 ways to grow a company: get new customers, get them to buy more, and get them to buy more often. That's the only 3 ways you can grow a business. So happy customers often naturally tell others about their experiences, but you can also nudge them to do this more with some focused marketing. So you can identify customers who are ready for this phase based on their conversions and how long they've been a customer. And if they're speaking out on social about your brand. So building this type of customer loyalty can be done in a number of ways and relies on the entire customer experience being stellar up to this point. So keyword is the customer experience. So if you don't have a good checkout experience, or they had trouble with a product and didn't get help they needed, or they felt ignored, or unsatisfied with the experience or interactions, it will be hard to turn them into loyal advocates. So let's talk about the checkout experience for a second. How many of us buy from Amazon? Probably all of us in here. They make it so easy to buy. You can either click and add it to cart and then check out, or you can just swipe a button that says buy now and it's at your doorstep the next day. Maybe 1 or 2 steps at the most. How many times have we been to a website and you got to sign in when you got to create an account, then you got to give them your social and your blood type, and before you buy, you got 30 different shipping options. Then they're gonna suggest another product to you, and towards the end of it, they trying to sell you so many more things, and it's like so many different screens you got to toggle between. It just makes the experience one that you want to get away from. You want to make it easy for people to buy. You may want to offer a guest checkout, but the less steps in between them buying, the better for you. And this could be in person as well. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of the sale. There's people that come in ready to buy and we talk too much, and then they be like, you know what, don't even worry about it. So how many of us have a loyalty program? Loyalty programs or incentives. These help you, sustain your customer loyalty that you've built by helping them feel special. You could create a loyalty program based on VIP status and exclusivity, but you want to have something that offers special products, sneak peeks, or even videos to help them understand your products better. Your program could offer special discounts, special perks, like occasional coupons or reward point system. We all have these in our phone by apps, but personalization will go a long way. So you also want to consider things like sending personalized notes with purchases, or even special offers on birthdays and anniversaries. I go to Chick-fil-A pretty frequently because of my kids, and the point system keeps me there. Your local smoothie place has a reward system now. You might buy 5 smoothies, get the next one free, get a free one on your birthday. How can you create some sort of loyalty? If you're a realtor, you may have a VIP homeowner group where you do networking events just for those homeowners, and then you give them access to experts that can help them along the homeownership journey. Because they didn't buy the home just to buy it; they bought it to build a better relationship with someone around them. It might be their kids, it might be their spouse, it might be their in-laws. You never know, but you want to help them along the way to reinforce that decision that they made was the best one. All right. So once your customers feel taken care of, even delighted, they'll be more open and encouraged to recommend your brand and you to people they know. So this is so powerful because your current customers are most likely associate with people with the same target within the same target market, making their friends and connections your next best customers. And that word of mouth from your customers goes a long way. I've had, deals that close that are big deals just because someone referred me to someone. I ain't even have to do a presentation. They were ready to buy. And those are the best customers. In fact, let me give you a stat. 92% of customers trust word of mouth recommendation over other types of marketing, and customers referred by other customers have a 37% higher retention rate. Let me say that again. Your customers that are referred by others have almost a 40% higher retention rate versus a cold stranger that you had to, build a relationship over time to come through. So these are important reasons not just focus on sustaining loyalty, but encourage advocacy. A happy customer will naturally spread positive words about you. And of course, the opposite is also true, which is why you want to create an excellent customer experience. You can help your customers, spread, the word by putting opportunities to advocate for your brand in front of them. So again, there's a popular cell phone company. Their whole social media is posts about their customers. They only post things that were created by their customers. And you know how many people want to show up just on that page by liking and sharing these posts, which is crazy. So start by asking your customers to leave you online reviews. That's number one. Also consider asking your best customers for testimonial or permission to make their experience with you into a case study. So for those that are like in our industry, like Tonio, and if you have a service-based business or a high-ticket offer, case studies go a long way. Hey, when I started with this person, they were here. We did XYZ, and after 6 months to a year, this were the results. Da 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 da. You can also create referral programs that incentivize your customers to pass along messages. Sometimes those are called affiliate programs. So run contests and have social sharing opportunities with the prize. So these are some of the things that you can do, to take that customer experience a long way. So you also want to encourage customers to leave you a review on Google and interact with them through the business profile. So that's a great way to start. Again, we talked about it earlier. Those reviews also rank, because if I start typing those keywords, Google also reads those reviews and shows those words to you. So happy customers become advocates. But if you have bad reviews, reply to them. Try to fix that off social media. Keep your responses short, but don't give them incentives in front of everyone, because then everybody will feel like if they just leave you a bad review, they can get an incentive. Does that make sense? You want to respond to all reviews, but especially those bad ones. All right. So your customers are not the only ones who can become advocates, though. Your employees, which are your first line of customers, they are your first customer. Your partners and even vendors are great candidates for brand advocacy. So even if they aren't actual customers, they have intimate knowledge of your brand and can be encouraged to advocate for you. Paid influencers and affiliates are another form of advocacy, though. Influencers are typically people who have influence among your target audience, and the content they share is in line with your brand. Influencers are paid to recommend you, your brand, and your products to, typically through social media. So again, I just said this, affiliates are typically people in your industry who have a wide reach and a ton of traffic. So you give them a code, and once they make sales through that code, they get a percentage of the sales. So take time to identify who can be your advocates. So if you're in real estate, and I keep using this analogy because, this is usually a real estate platform, but no matter what type of business you're in, who are your potential, advocates for you? Could it be your mortgage lenders, your contractors? Who else works on a transaction with you? Attorneys, your insurance company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think, how can you make those people into a referral base for you? And I'm not saying pay them to do that, but how can you build such a strong relationship that when they think of you, think of your industry, they think of you. All right. So we've come to the end of the journey, right? So as you can see, there's a lot of marketing you can do to influence your customers throughout the journey. But what's your action plan? So put in the chat, what's one thing you're going to do after this workshop to take your business to the next level through customer focused marketing?
What's your one thing?
I hear somebody in the background. All right. So let's recap. So customer focused marketing for the awareness and consideration phases of the customer journey starts by defining who your customers are and by creating a brand that speaks to them. You'll need to get your business online in order for your customers to reach you and research you. So spend time listening to your prospects and learn about them, and you can communicate with them. And I gave you some tools that can help you figure out what it is that they want and what they're looking for. All of this works to develop strong relationships. Everything is about relationships with your customers in hopes that they move to the next phase of the journey. So in the last two phases, though, your marketing is focused on converting your customers and turning them into loyal advocates. Not all the people who show initial interest in your brand will move to the phase. So it's important for you to identify key actions, that someone is taking to show that they're considering you, and they'll likely lead to a conversion. Then you want to identify those customers who can share timely calls to action and pave the way for a purchase. You'll want to make sure that the purchase process is streamlined and it's as easy as possible so you don't lose someone in the process. So once you've landed a customer, keep them happy and satisfied to build their loyalty. Implement programs and incentives to sustain, their loyalty and encourage their advocacy among everyone they know. You can also create advocacy programs, among the people like employees and influencers. But lastly and ultimately, their advocacy will lead to more customers, entering into the awareness phase of the customer journey. So keep the pipeline filled. That's the goal at all times. The more people you have in your pipeline, the greater your chances are of converting them and turning them into loyal.
Oh, gee,
All
we
right.
had some good ones in here. They said somebody said actually get on Google Suite since I didn't set it up. Another one says Google Trends for sure. Building a great loyalty promotion for January. Another person said working on Google Ads. We got to develop a website, absolutely, and find a way to reach my clientele.
Got you. So here, I do these a couple times a month, and there's been times where I've been able to get people on the phone with Google directly, and April is one of them. And they gave her some credits to run Google Ads, and I think they even help you set it up. So keep in mind that we don't just do this once. I do this every month. Like I said, this past year we reached over 2,000 people, and hopefully next year you can be a part of that. And we don't just make it about the training and the resources. Like literally, those people become a tribe and they share resources and they network with each other, and they do business with each other. So, but those are good. Can some of you screenshot some of these answers so I can put them in my report and send them to me? Also, make sure that you're in tune with the Denmarks. But let me give you some free resources that Google has as well. I'm not done yet. So you want to refine your digital skills, visit Google On Air. So On Air offers free online workshops that you can learn digital skills about, from a wide range of topics. All you got to do is go to g.co/on air. So just remember, grow with Google On Air. All right. Now, this certification program is one of the best of its kind. And I'm not just saying this. I actually have, if you can see behind me, the top one is the digital marketing and e-commerce certificate. And I keep that up consistently. You want to learn marketing? Like I just gave you a sum of how to market to your customer. But you want to learn marketing as a whole, the digital marketing and e-commerce certificate, that is the way to go. I mean, you learn everything from social media marketing to email marketing to Google Analytics, everything in between. And it's a 6-month course. So it's not like it's some rinky-dink stuff. Like you literally have to go through a ton of stuff, and you got to take tests and you got to engage with others. There are so many different ones that you can take, from project management, and there's even a cybersecurity one. And these are highly vetted and coveted in the field. So whether you want to take your business to another level, or even if you want to say, you know what, let me go the corporate route and get a marketing job or some sort of job somewhere else, these are highly respected. So all you got to do is go to grow.google/certificates. And there are a couple of Google partners in the community, which are nonprofits, that I can probably connect you with that might be able to give you a scholarship if you want some of these certificates. So just make sure that you reach out to me if you got any questions about this program. All right. Lastly, we have a YouTube channel. Well, not lastly, we have a YouTube channel and we post content every single week. And it's in bite-sized chunks. So if you go to YouTube and type in Grow with Google, there's a ton of videos on things that can help you take your business to the next level. So if you go to google.com/grow, we got something for everybody, whether you're a teacher, a local business, a job seeker, or developer. We can help you take your classroom to another level with the latest technology. You can learn skills to advance your career, and you can apply the right digital tools to grow your business online. So these are some of the things that you can take advantage of for free on top of the other stuff that I've already given you. And, I know we've been at it for quite a while, and I just want to say thank you. At this time, let's open the floor up for questions, because I know we've been at it for about 2 hours.
You asked what was one of the things that we're going to immediately do. I think putting that code on every page of our website is probably the most important thing, because pixels don't track that well. But if I can see what pages they're going to, how long they're spending on it. I had a sale to come through a page that I didn't even know was up. Seriously, I had a sale, and it wasn't even for the price that it is today, but I had to honor it because, for one, they found that page and I didn't know that page was still up. But wow. I would know that page if I had analytics behind it.
Yeah, you would know how they found it.
But it was on the main page. I just never knew it was active.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you set it up, the biggest thing is you want to know your bounce rate, and then you can see the customer journey as to how they found that page. But it's going to start tracking from when you put it on there moving forward, though. That's the only downside to it.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And you can even apply. You can even use that on your funnels too, actually. So it's not just limited to your website. So any landing page that you have, if you track your Google Analytics through that, it'll give you the specific data.
Say less.
Got a question.
Yes,
what
sir.
is the best way to approach how often you review analytics?
So that's subjective, right? I think in the beginning, you start by, you won't have a lot of data. So I would wait maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month. And then, some people, I know, like my clients, we review it quarterly, unless I see a change in the bounce or something immediately. As long as it's trending up, we review it, quarterly. But in the beginning, you want to track it as much as possible. It's like planting a tree. You got to water it and feed it. And then once, you start applying what you start making the changes based on that data, you don't have to track it as much.
I know you work with a wide range of big business, small business, but just kind of sum it up. If you had to maybe put a percentage on it, what percentage of traffic is coming from Google? What percentage of traffic is coming from social media? And what are you seeing with your customers in that respect?
So it just depends, right? So I got some customers, I would say, depending on the business, or like a restaurant or something like that, right? Most of their traffic is going to come from, your Google. Because if I'm hungry, I'm searching for a restaurant right now. Mm-hmm. But then you have, my service-based businesses like coaches, consultants, and things of that nature. A lot of that traffic comes from your social and some Google, because a lot of the times I'm in tune with that person. And, I'm following them in real time to see what they're doing today, what they're posting, where they are, and I'm just, it's all about the personal brand and the lifestyle. So on your website, that's usually your hard sell. But for the most part, a lot of that traffic is just coming from social. But then you got companies, like, a lot of my nonprofits that I deal with, their traffic a lot of the times come from Google. Because if I'm searching for rental assistance, or if I need a service right now, it's easier just to find it on Google than it is for me to search on social media or to go ask a friend. Or if I'm looking for a job, of course I'm gonna go to the job boards, but I'm also gonna search Google and type in, tech jobs near me or things of that nature.
Good stuff.
You just messed
other
up our
questions?
week.
You messed up my relaxation.
Oh my
Because
God! You gave
now
us so much
Man,
more.
y'all still need to relax. We could tackle this another day.
my brain is gonna be turning. Oh my goodness. Can we do this?
I have a question for y'all
Great
though.
stuff.
Okay.
I have a question for y'all though. So how did you? I asked a question about your ad spend for a reason, right? Not to put your ad spend out, but it's just the fact that you guys are in a position where you can take money out of your pocket and make it work for you. What are some of the benefits that you guys have seen by actually, spending money on ads?
This is gonna let me just say it. So 1 month I didn't monitor my ad spend, and I spent like $5,000 on ads. And Tony, the phones was ringing, like people was joining the masterclass, like it was heavy traffic that month. And Antonio was like, "You closing a lot of deals this month." We made 60,000 in that month from that 5,000 in ad spend. And when I
So
went in,
you spent, wait a minute, you spent $5,000 and then you basically netted 55,000. You grow 60 and netted 55,000. So you hear that?
like
So,
that became like the aha moment to where it was like, okay, well, you need to match it. And then I got lazy again and I wasn't monitoring it, and I had put less out. Well, guess what? We didn't have any that month because I didn't have enough money out from an ad spend perspective to where we weren't getting anything in the pipeline. It wasn't any really good leads. But it was the ad spend, the increase of it started to increase the volume. So we knew that, okay, this is an area that a time where we need to increase it. We would increase it. And typically it's like a 30-day, like between 15 and 30 days, you start to see it from it. But y'all know Antonio has always been very cheap about spending money on marketing. So like that, when I had to like verbally tell him I just spent 5,000, he was like, "What?" And I had to like show him, but look, this is what we closed this month. And it became okay, all right. But
yeah.
at first he was like, chill out.
So if you have any advice for anyone that's bringing in profit and is on the fence of running ads, what would be your advice to them to get them to say, hey, you need to at least experiment and actually, take a little bit of that and set an ad budget?
Take it. It's a no-brainer, you guys, honestly. And if you're uncomfortable with spending 3,000-4,000, spend $1,000 and then test it. But be willing to lose that first 1,000 because you don't really know exactly what your audience is looking for. And just like play with it. Do split tests, see what's engaging them, like what's making them come. There's a couple of times we had to change. We thought a cover art we thought was so hot, like, oh yeah, that's gonna make people come. It didn't. So
Yeah.
it's a constant change, but spend the money because it can reach people that you can't reach.
Yeah, it will reach people that you can't reach.
Yeah.
I mean, be real. So these platforms are set up to make sure that, the people that are spending the money get the most privileges. That's just real. Someone asked, if you don't have to spend 1,000, what would be, an amount that they would spend? So Tasha D said, "What's the minimum amount to spend on ads to get traffic if you don't have 1,000 to spend?" So I would tell you, Tasha, you need to know your cost, your customer acquisition cost. So if it costs you, let's say, $100 to acquire a customer, then I would say spend $100 and test it out and see. But usually, if your ads aren't working, there's only three things that ain't right: it's your copy, your visual, or your offer. So just play with the three.
Absolutely. I think one point we had a heavy bounce rate because we switched our ad copy on the ad, but we never switched it on the funnel. And
Mhm.
it was just not, nobody was showing up like, oh goodness. But it was
Yeah.
because we said something totally different on the ad than the funnel said. And we just thought, oh, we just do it quick. It'll work. It doesn't work. You have to fix it.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause especially for strangers, so when with strangers they're looking for a reason not to buy immediately.
One, one thing I would say to anybody who's watching, and you can kind of hear it through what Ashley's saying, just start.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sit here and tell you we got everything lined up. We know conversions rates, we know cost per lead, we know, like, we just doing it, y'all. And the results are coming. Start.
And perfect it as you go on. Everything doesn't have to line up and be perfect, but you do got to get started on
You
it.
do got to get started.
And I saw someone said, build a website. Don't build that website. Use Fiverr, use Freelancer, you use somebody else to build it for you that can do it in 48 hours versus you spending 6 months, 3 months to do it. Because I
Right.
was that person to where, okay, the website wasn't perfect. It'll never be perfect. You don't know enough for it to be perfect. Just let it roll.
Yep.
Totally agree.
And then guess what? When you get it up and they change a couple things or two, then your load time might go down. So it's always a constant battle. But like you said, just start. It ain't got to be
Yeah.
perfect. My first website had a bunch of typos on it. I got it up though. I was converting.
Got it up.
Progress over
Got it up.
perfection.
And
Yeah.
I would say have some patience. I think both of y'all touched on it. Like, the way ads work is not just going to automatically pop. It don't work like that to where you just don't see an automatic increase. It has to learn. It has to understand your customers. You're gonna have to tweak some things on your end. And I would say years ago, like, I paid somebody to do some Google ads. First month it ain't work. I ain't doing it no more. But
Right.
now that I'm more seasoned and experienced, it's like, was they telling me, hey, it's gonna take about 3 months to really get some feedback, some results, to know what direction to go? Yes. So be patient with it. Like, if you got $1,000, don't just do $1,000 in 1 month and stop. Do $400 a month, do $300 a month, and just start that process and build from there.
Yeah,
Right.
Google
Like I
Ads.
said, you want that data.
Yeah, you want that data. Google Ads works so well. My mom doesn't even she's not on Facebook for real. She doesn't do social media for real, but she decided to spend some money on Google Ads. And she just
For
put
what business?
for her Mary Kay business. And she just decided to put like Homewood, Hoover, Mountain Brook, areas that she wanted to do business in as where she was located and where she was doing business. Y'all, nail salons started to contact her and saying, okay, we need 7, and I'm just gonna use, it's a hand cream. We need 7 of it because we use that for our spa. They didn't know this lady. She didn't know them, but all she did was put it on Google and it worked. So every Friday she would come to my house and say, okay, what kind of tweaks can I do today? And I just use what I knew from Facebook ads and just it works across the board. So I used what I knew from Facebook ads to tweak her Google ads, and it was like clockwork. Every time, every Friday, she would do that. Over the weekend, she would get a sale to where she was looking forward to coming over on Fridays to talk marketing. And I'm not even a Google person, which I need to be now from today, and it was working. So
Yeah.
she wasn't spending $1,000. My mother was probably spending $150 for real a month, but it was making her money from it as
Yeah.
just a side hustle where she didn't even have to show up. It was just drop shipping it to them. Like, it's a no brainer.
Yeah. So April actually had a call with Google, and they gave her some Google ad credits, and she got to ask them directly, like, "Hey, so as you can see her comment, the best way for Google, the best way Google told me for ads was to pass the minimum blue bar when set up Google for it to reach the certain amount of people." So she got the sauce.
She
Right
got the
there.
thoughts.
April comes to all the events, and she gets the benefits of them. So again, we built a community, and I'm thankful that I had this partnership that allows me to just give free content like this every month. And I'm gonna bring the Denmarks along the journey, even more. We're gonna do it bigger next year. This was just the beginning and the teaser.
I'm
That
here
was up.
for it. I'm ready.
Next year we're gonna rent out the movie theater and have it virtual inside the movie theater with 100 people.
Or
Let's do it.
we can just go to Canvas on Moors, where we had the brunch.
There it
There we
is.
go.
Yep.
Planting the seeds, baby.
Let's go.
All right. So any other questions? So I see it's 20 people live on YouTube. I don't know how many people on Facebook. So we open to taking questions before we shut down. So
Yeah,
they
don't leave
can
without.
watch the replay. We can share the replays of this as well, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So it'll stay up on YouTube.
It'll stay up on YouTube. Mhm.
Cool. So look, if you got somebody that needs to see this, share this with them. Especially right now during their downtime and the holidays, while they got the time, this would be a perfect, master class, if you will, for them to watch. Because a lot of the times when you learn marketing, it goes above your head. We talking in jargon and click-through rates and things of that nature. This is marketing 101 right there. And it's all about your customer and how to position yourself to be in front of them at all times, to make them come to you and be loyal to you.
Absolutely.
Agree. I totally agree. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. You done rock some boats over here. I got my notes to go back to my marketing person over here to have some conversations. She ain't gonna want to hear them because I always got some stuff going on, but it was definitely what we needed to help the vision of 2024 come to life.
And I know you say like it's marketing 101, but give our thought. It's like how you said what you say. It doesn't matter what level of marketing you're at. Like you're still gonna learn consistently.
Agree.
I'm still learning every day because especially in the digital world, this stuff evolves so fast, and if you're not on top of what's trending, what's new, what the changes that come, you'll get left behind. Like you can figure out, ads right now. You can figure out SEO right now. Then something changes tomorrow, and your page gonna rank to the bottom.
Right.
Because that's how they stay in business.
And it's important.
They got loyal customers.
Right. How many times has the the social platform that you use to run ads change? They move a button here, they change this, they make it harder for you to find this. It's on purpose.
I told Antonio I was monitoring an ad and I said, "Oh, okay, it's active." 2 days later, it's rejected. Like, how am I active then rejected? Like,
Right.
What do you mean? But you gotta constantly monitor it.
And then the reasons be so crazy sometimes.
Right, but you approve me.
That make no sense.
Right.
Keep
So
your eyes on it.
I think somebody had one question on YouTube. I couldn't see it. It popped up and it went away so fast. Yeah. And then also go back. Go ahead.
Which one? This one?
Keywords with near me to get ads rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was a question or she was making a statement, but
she was giving some advice, I think.
Yeah. Someone put, after leaving today, what is the best step? What is the best action step to take?
I would say start with knowing exactly who you need to be talking to. Create that customer avatar and know them so well, and everything else will work itself out. Because without them, without knowing who you want to buy from you and who can afford you, you can't build a brand and you can't communicate with them effectively, and you can't necessarily show them that happily ever after they're looking for. So yeah, go back and fine tune who your customer avatar is, and then start applying everything else.
Somebody said this is so good. Definitely need to watch it if you are about to start a business to do it correctly from the jump. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, and rewatch it. You know, this is gonna live. Rewatch it. You know, and if you miss something, it's like a movie. How many times you watch a movie and you be like, man, I ain't pay attention to this. I ain't see this. Yep. So it's no different with this. The beautiful thing about it is you get to keep this for free. You know, you don't have to pay for it.
Absolutely. Free game.
Free game.
Free
All
game.
these free sites Google got. Trends, analytics, business.
And that's not even all of them. That's just a few of them. I mean, there's so much more that I'm gonna be able to give you. Like we coming out, it's a bunch of AI stuff coming down the pipeline that I'm happy to be sharing in a minute.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's go. Keep us updated. Well, I would like to say thank you.
Yes.
I can't even put words to the value that you provided to us. Yeah. And we understand some marketing, but like, oh man, I can only imagine the people that's at home watching. I know one of our friends, Danielle, is watching it, and she got a radio station. So I already know she taking this game and tweaking on things that she doing. So thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody who stayed. And we had a good crowd the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? So he was giving some good information. So I can't say thank you enough.
Reach out to Gilberto, you guys. If you
how can they get in contact with you, G?
So info@gilbertoherrera.com. My phone number is 205-691-9923. Or you can find me on all social medias if you just type my name. As a matter of fact, what I would love for y'all to do is to screenshot this and just tag me in your post so that we can kind of, you know, stay connected that way as well.
Love it.
So actually, there is a screenshot that's going that Antonio did earlier.
They do their own screenshot.
Oh, I thought he was talking about us.
No.
Bet you guys tag Gilberto. And if this meant anything to you, if you learned anything at all, I need y'all to go tell him thank you on any of the social media platforms that he's on. Tell him thank you and how much you enjoyed and learn from this information. And then I need you to tell him what actions you're going to take. Like, you don't have to do everything. Just do one thing. Just do one thing.
One step at a time.
That's it. One step at a time, but frequency and consistency is key.
It is.
That's it.
All right. We'll catch up later. Thank everybody for coming.
We love you guys.
We love everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And let's make 2024 the year, baby.
Let's go.
Peace.